The Emperor has a mission. Your first dip back into the fray.
I'm more than up for the challenge.
Imperial intelligence has uncovered the location of the Firewolf.
The Klingon leader of the Resistance.
The one who's been marching these witless alien insurgents through their inevitable deaths. His base is located on Harlak. I'm sending you the coordinates now. Your mission is simple.
Terran General Order 4. Any exotic species deemed a threat to the Imperial supremacy will be extinguished without prejudice.
Kill them all. The Emperor commands it.
Welcome to our review and analysis of Star Trek Discovery's Episode 11, The Wolf Inside. It seems our expedition into the Mirror Universe might be extended a little longer than we expected. Should we go ahead and have our mail forwarded? First, a spoiler warning. Alright, let's do this. Life aboard an Imperial starship is brutal. Okay, that's terrifying. Personal servant Saru. Looks good on you.
What is your name?
A slave has no name.
I have so many conflicting emotions right now.
One last question. Have you encountered any Kelpians on board?
No, I haven't, Saru.
Burnham can't get through the Imperial firewall to the secret files.
I've accessed the classified files, but the data's too massive to decipher from here.
Burnham is ordered to kill the Resistance. Oh man, Captain Lorca is looking rough. Stamets might know about Dr. Culper's death. Maybe.
Trees.
Perhaps if we put mushrooms in him, he'll get better, right? Dr. Captain Tilly is on the case. Perhaps Stamets can be saved. Uh-oh. Welcome to Planet Canada, home of the rebels. Burnham goes to meet the Resistance leader. Meetings. Oh, that's awkward. Also, Ash Tyler is the ultimate cosplay. Think about it. Sarek works for the Resistance, but his son Spock works for the Empire. Still keeping the son goes against the wishes of the father dynamic even here, aren't we? Now Vok fights against Vok.
There can be only one!
Ashvok is coming apart at the seams. Time for the reveal. Oh no, that just about does it for Michael Burnham. Oh, thank the gods, Slave Saru, thank you. Stamets finds himself in an interdimensional forest. With Stamets? Groovy. Ashvok is about to be executed. Oh, Michael, you sly dog. Hello, Emperor Giorgio.
Don't you bow before your emperor?
The Wolf Inside is a bit more patient than previous episodes, with more contemplative shots and slower-paced editing. But it's still packed an emotional punch. Ashvok finally comes out to himself and transforms into full-on Vok. While we saw this coming a light year away, the actual act of the reveal and the impact it has on Burnham still lands with depth and severity. However, this raises an interesting issue for Discovery. Ash Tyler's true identity was no real mystery for fans of the show. His introduction, timed with Vok's on-screen disappearance, was questionable. The suspicion that Tyler was a Klingon spy haunted him every episode, right up until the reveal. Perhaps the writers weren't trying to hide Tyler's true identity, instead setting up for Burnham the emotional stakes of Ash being Vok. For instance, we certainly did not expect Ashvok and Burnham to become romantically involved. Maybe the real question is what will happen to Ashvok now? Can Ash Tyler, the human persona, be saved? What happens to Burnham in all of this? Maybe the fact that Ash Tyler is Vok isn't as important as what will happen to Vok after his truth is known. The same goes for Lorca, who we suspect of actually being the Lorca from the Terran Imperial universe. There have been a number of subtle clues indicating this might be the case, a list of clues to which The Wolf Inside only adds. I mean, After the top-secret Defiant files are sent to Discovery, Lorca still advocates remaining on board Mirasenjo. Why? His true mission is the Emperor, not the Defiant, even though he has told no one this. The reveals of Lorca and Voq feel a bit heavy-handed, but is this because the actual reveal isn't the point? It might not matter that Lorca is Mirror Lorca. Maybe what matters is if he's been influenced by the Federation of the Prime Universe, or if he is still a treacherous Mirror Universe character at heart. Moving on to other things, what should we expect of Discovery from here on out? If Lorca is the last big suspected reveal, what other directions can we reasonably expect the show to take? Well, it is possible the war might be ended somehow, wrapping Season 1 up in a nice pretty bow. Also, Discovery cannot make it back to their native time period and universe and continue on as if nothing happened. Not sure where they'll go, but the fact that the Federation doesn't know about the Terran Imperial universe in 10 years' time when Kirk crosses over suggests that Discovery's crew all die or is sworn to secrecy for some reason when they get back. Or some other destiny. This is science fiction, after all. Discovery could end up in the future of the Prime Universe timeline, in the same way that the USS Defiant ended up in the past of the Terran Imperial Universe timeline. Maybe Discovery's removal from the timeline is the key to ending the Klingon War. It's too early to say. The show isn't sending out a lot of hints as to what might happen next, as it had done previously with Voq and Lorca. The ISS Discovery seems to have a spore drive. There might be a clue there as to what happens next. The Forest of Stamets might be able to do something that the other characters cannot see. The biggest bit of meat here is that Discovery has found a really good balance representing the Terran Imperial universe, an idea so campy that it has its own Boy Scout troop. An evil Boy Scout troop, to be sure. The funny thing is, despite all the camp and ridiculousness that has come before with this alternate reality, Discovery might be the first Star Trek outing to hit a perfect balanced note on the Mirror Universe. You see, Discovery is a show that revels in contrast, bunking the talkative, happy-go-lucky, optimistic cadet with the disgraced, sullen, pessimistic mutineer.
They told me because of my special needs that I couldn't have a roommate, which was kind of a letdown because a roommate is like an automatic built-in friend, but then they told me that I was going to have a roommate, and so now I guess that's you.
That's a contrast that has a lot of potential for drama and for allegory, and it turned into a lovely relationship between a mentor and a student. Having our main character serve under a captain who believes in the principles of the Federation, and then serve under a captain who willingly skirts those principles in order to defend that Federation, is also an abundant mine for drama and discussion.
But I can't send hundreds of rebels to their death to save myself.
What about your crew? Federation? Our universe be massacred by Klingons. Sometimes the end justifies terrible means.
The rich, sibling-like relationship between the apprehensive, jealous younger brother and the prominent, infamous older sister.
I am deeply jealous that I never got the chance you had.
To be Captain Dorjo's first officer.
I never got that chance.
Or the conscientious, brilliant scientist and the heavy-handed, disciplined warrior.
Really? We're running drills near Klingon space.
We are at war, Lieutenant. I'd appreciate a day going by without me having to remind you of that.
Well, Captain, I will need to take a team with me. You know, for the cumbersome, annoying science part.
All good, interesting contrasts. Hell, Ash Tyler being Voq puts opposites inside the same character, a move that created a lot of tension, even though the audience was well aware of what was happening. This richness of contrasts extends beyond the individual characters to the interstellar conflict between the xenophobic, isolationist, racial purist Klingons and the multicultural, classically liberal idealists in the Federation. A contrast that forces a conversation about our own political and cultural discussions in the real world. Mirroring has been a theme throughout the whole season. So, of course, Discovery is a good fit to explore the Terran Imperial universe. Discovery gives this universe just the right amount of silly, unscientific, over-the-top nonsense, and all of the homicidal, fascist, psychological terror you'd expect from an evil twin universe. Importantly, Discovery is mining this contrast between realities to discuss what the Federation actually is. It forces its Prime Universe characters into positions of reflection about themselves and their values. For example, we see Michael Burnham is struggling with the reality of the Mirror Universe.
You can never be one of them.
We're all human here. We all start out with the same drives, the same needs. Maybe none of us, no matter what world we're from, really know what darkness is waiting inside.
But we find out later that she is still Starfleet to the core and is eager to test those values she holds dear.
If we can walk away from this with the means to successfully negotiate with the Klingon race, that's real hope for finding peace at home. Please, sir, I no longer have my bibs, but I'm still Starfleet. Don't force me to slaughter this coalition of hope.
The contrasts between the humans of the Mirror Universe and the Prime Universe are made more compelling when you consider the attitudes of Prime Universe Klingons. Those Klingons share many of the traits and attitudes of the Terran Empire. This communicates to viewers that Klingons are not inherently evil, but that they made a series of choices that humans could have made, and did make, in a parallel universe. Speaking of mirrors, what does an Emperor Giorgio mean for Michael Burnham? Burnham's former mentor and captain is now her biggest threat. The grief or terror she felt in killing Captain Connor, a mirror copy of a crewman she already watched die, is but a small taste of what she must surely feel when she confronts Emperor Giorgio. We haven't had this much inward reflection about the real stakes possibility of Trek's vision for building a better world for ourselves since Deep Space Nine graced the airwaves. How far is too far to go in saving the Federation? Far enough that your own personal values no longer reflect those lofty Federation ideals? Does that Prime Universe idealism rub off on this treacherous alternate realm? Or is there a destiny here that can't be avoided? We can only wait and see. That's it for our review. Thank you for watching. If you like this and other Trekspertise videos, then consider supporting the channel. Patreon is the best way for you to help create more Trekspertise. However, you can also support the channel over at our Trekspertise store. The choice is yours. You can find the relevant links in the subspace below. Additionally, we are happy to announce that Nicholas Yanes is our randomly selected haiku winner for this year's holiday giveaway. Congrats, and well done on the submitted haikus. Nice work, everyone. Again, this is a random selection, but here is the winner's submitted haiku all the same. We'll see you next week.
遠い将来を考えてみようよ。